We are in this circle of loving, inspiring women committed to making a difference for our lives, for the lives of those we love, and for future generations. And that field of life that reaches out before us didn't begin today, and it does not end today. So we recognize that the field of life rolls back in time, rolls forward in time, is expansive beyond what we see with our eyes. That field of life that humanity and our divine families have been living on and moving through is our responsibility, because we have had the Sophia authority restored, that chakra center and all correct chakra centers and DNA restored. So in your mind's eye, the strength of this circle, calling in the greater circle collective of Sophia authority women, we stand together. We put our staff into that ground, the field of life, and say, I own the expansive field of life. It is mine by divine assignment. By divine assignment, my eyes, my ears, my emotions, my thoughts, my perceptions of all kinds are connected into the heavens and beyond with a sword of Sophia, strong, clear, reaching into the heavens, making secured connections to beings, collectives, teams, securely connected to the mission of bringing our home energy as the exclusive harmonics in this great field of life. I am connected to those teams, and we are connected to that plan. In this present moment, I declare that my field, my creation, my excitement that I am holding and planting into that field is what is that you are holding for outcome. Just imagine it, speak it into the field. We move our consciousness into that reality. We call through Sophia's sword, PTO Deep Six, anything of outsider, anywhere in this field, move it to extinction. We call in Grace Collective to clear all the magnetic fields of storage that would prevent that declaration from manifesting in its highest form. Clear Akashic record, super conscious, super unconscious, fifth dimension, all of the places in the physical bodysuit that had been storing it to be cleared. And we ask for each of our causal teams, that design team who understands coding formulas to create the software program and the codes for the highest and most beautiful expression of that declaration, and download the codes into my first dimensional field, standing on the field of life. and anchor the program itself in the fifth dimension that has now been defragged and cleaned to be automatically moving that plan forward. And honoring that there are contracts that have been made, there are experiences that have been painful. We call in for each of you the guide that can help gather those fractured soul pieces into alignment for this outcome of your highest good. Just look around until you sense that guide there. You may hear it as words, I am here. You may sense the presence of the warm light. You may see colors or smells. Your guide. Take yourself through the 3-question process to vet that particular guide. Are you of my light? 3 times. And if the guide is of your light, raise your hand. And if that guide isn't, thank you very much. If the guide isn't Deep Six, PTO, remove this energy. Call in and look for the guide that is of the light. Do the same 3 questions. We'll wait till that is done. So ask your guide, what are you experiencing, say in the past week or today, that is an indication of a job that you gave yourself to stop yourself? What is an indication of something that you created to stop yourself from shining too much or being seen? And just be aware of, it might be a pain in the shoulder, it might be a thought in the head, and just make a note. In the conversation, ask that the parts of yourself representing the greater fracturing, the parts of yourself, there might be 2 or 3, but it represents greater fracturing, yours, any in your genetic heritage, any you that you've taken on male or female psyche issues. There will be 1, maybe 2 or 3 that will travel with you and say to those, thank you for doing the job you did to keep me safe. And you see that now we have that Sophia authority, connections, and safety. What you did to keep me safe, to keep me small, was not a mistake. You did nothing wrong. Thank you for doing it. I am now ready, as you see, to step into the authority. So you're released from those jobs. Those little ones, whatever they are there with, can observe or travel with us. When you're ready, we're going to have your guide lift your awareness, your conscious self, up out of your body. Body's held well. Your awareness, your imagination space, lifting up above the body, up above your home. Going to travel back on this time slip, what we call the timeline. And as we move back in time, there are 3 places we're going to go. At the count of 3, we will be at the first. Lifting and moving back in time. 1. Quiet, warm, safe, secure. 2. Bringing the circle and the Sophia collective with us. 3. Find yourself landing on the planet. You're landing on the planet in the original village of 9, one of the 9 villages that landed here. Notice the beautiful gardens. And those sisters that are there, the 6 sisters who designed this place and held it, to use the law of manifestations, beautiful. Feel their excitement. And Sophia has shown up, and they're telling you they have the ability to taste or know or sense energy from their creations and how delicious and expansive it is. And they've had the opportunity to taste the form, the manifestation from energy of the outsider, and how really awful, yucky, sticky, constricting it is. And they're excited because they know the difference. They know. And they move back into the garden, but their excitement has alerted outsiders through a male bodysuit's monitoring, and there they are in the garden. You're watching. There are the 6 male bodies that have come in. They're very hangdog looking. Oh my gosh, what have we done? And lo and behold, this god of Adam, the male who owned the male, swoops into the garden with all charisma, beauty, and says, "What is happening here? What is happening here?" I realize these 6 sisters have never encountered an outsider in this form, only the forms of the fruit of the energy the outsiders planted. This is a big shift. And you can sense the insecurity of those women. In that moment, we come in to stand with them. And we say to these women, put your staff in the ground. The garden is yours. And they do. And we say, put your sword in the sky. You're not alone. And they do. And all of a sudden, they're filled with strength and clarity. And they say to that God of Adam, we know who you are. We know who you are. And we name you an outsider and we make you a surrogate for all outsiders who have trapped our families. And we say, through the connections into the habits PTO, this energy is not allowed. The entire network it represents is not allowed. We so declare. And we hold space with those women. And it doesn't matter what that outsider tries to do. It's not about power and it's not about fear. We stand, and that energy form dissipates into dust. Dust. And there is never energy of invasion created. There is never bodies of the males taken over. And in that moment, we command that all ownership, chips, programs, formulas, codes be identified and eliminated to dust. Free our male bodysuits. And in that moment, we create a transition team. We give permission for Gaia to be freed. We give permission for that energy to self-correct. And that garden group continues now, unified, male bringing in energy for women to weave. Respectful balance. Ask if there's anything they need from you, or if there's anything you need to give to them, do that. And we bless that circle as a point for all the other circles that are there on the planet, our original clans. Mission was accomplished in that moment. What we're going to do is we're going to ask you guys to lift you, leaving our blessings and connections to this magnificent landing groups, and move along the timeline forward in time. We're bringing with us that corrected energy, asking it to correct along the timelines. We are going to go forward to another point, to the count of 3. Moving forward 1. Blessing as we go 2. Bringing the soul's fractured parts into alignment as we were originally intending, to the point of 3. Landing down on the planet again. We land in a circle of women who have the repercussion of the damage done. We are coming to them for a different reason. And these women gathered in their circle, in their sacred place, because the invaders had come into their village and they knew they needed to make changes. They needed something. They had heard through the ethers of villages that were being destroyed that the stronger the women were in standing up, the more destruction happened, because the Sophia wasn't working. The connections were gone and they were at a loss. So they gathered in this sacred place, in this circle. And what they had decided to do is hide the gifts of female in nature, hiding it in stones, in water, in trees, in plants, in earth, in air, in fire. They hid all of their gifts so they would not be a threat to the outsiders, to the invaders. And they made contracts with each other that they would stay small so that everyone was safe. They would stay small by contract. They made an additional contract, which is if I see you shining, I will pull you down to keep you safe. And we come in and we introduce ourselves and we see the pain they are in. They've had to make these decisions to pull each other down, to disregard each other, to hide their gifts, to pretend small. It is not joyful. It is painful. So these fractured souls around this one issue have been created by contract and promise. And they see us there. We ask to come in and be a part of their circle, and they give us permission. And we acknowledge the great love they have for each other and the great love they have for their villages and for their families. And they are doing the only thing they know to do to keep them safe. And we acknowledge that for them. And we say, because you made yourself small, kept yourself small, we are here from the future. You kept the female lineage safe, survival, but safe. And we are the recipients of that pain of smallness. And we are here to tell you this is the payoff. We have been restored to the Sophia authority, the original chakra system, power centers, DNA, so that we can bring it back to you. And it takes a minute or two, maybe, for them to get it. You made yourself small so we could be born. We were born at a time when the Sophia and female mission and all of that chakra system unfoldment was restored. So we come back to them, and there's their contracts. Pull each other down, infighting, be small. There's their contracts. And we say to them, put them in the fire. Contracts are fulfilled. Put them in the fire. Not enough, put it in the fire. It's fulfilled. We bring in the Sophia collective sisters. And each of those women in that circle, which was your circle, your genetic circle, has a Sophia sister that embraces her. And they touch forehead, third eye to third eye. Sophia sister places her hand on the solar plexus, activating the correct chakra and the chakra centers, activating Sophia, placing her hand on the heart, activating grace. Take a breath and we put an azure shawl, cloak, jewelry on all of those sisters, and we have the staff and the sword. And we say to them, you are a surrogate village for all villages. Put the staff in the ground and say, this is our land. our world, our village, our home, our families. Ours by divine declaration and right to safeguard. So even though they sense the outsiders marching toward them, they claim this is my land. Soared into the heavens, that connections that says, PTO, this is our land. This whole energy field of life is ours. And we name outsider energy coming toward us as not allowed. Deep six, remove totally. They watch and they feel and they sense until that invader energy is gone. And then Sophia leads them to say, staff in the ground, this is your village. These are your family, tribe, male and female. Soared into the sky that says, all outsider ownership in any form, marks, chips, within the male body, within the storage of female body, within the village, within the land, in this moment, not acceptable, absolutely not allowed. Deep six, remove it to extinction. And hold that while the energy swirls like vacuum. And grace leads us through. I'm standing and I forgive all energies contrary to sovereignty. I forgive all energies, situations, harmonic, that I have experienced or helped create. Trauma, abuse, neglect, survival, minimalizing. I forgive the energies. It is gone. And I place all humanity, this village, my home, my family, on the field of divine good, restored to the harmonics of my soul, our soul. You stand on the edge of life field again. Breathe and stand on the field of that great life energy from way beyond. The field of life holds harmonics of home, all good. Integrity, gratitude, inspiration, expansion, cohesiveness, enthusiasm, enoughness, faith, unconditional, all that is good. And you say to life, this field, life, I had many stories of trauma, not enough, blame, harm. Life is not good. I am not safe. I have held many stories that were mine. They come from many sources, but they were mine. I held them, and it prevented you from showing up in all the grandeur that is mine in this field. And I'm giving up the stories. The stories are gone. The fracturing is gone. And I'm standing before you live today, now. My story declaration is I am whole. My contribution is resourced and connected and appreciated and seen and valued, and life, all humanity is safe. I am in tribes reflecting home, here. I'm so glad to be playing with you differently. In whatever way you want and choose, set that in place. See it happening for yourself, for your family members, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. Let magic happen. Let magic happen. And as doors open, I will recognize them and I will move through to those new stories. Thank you all for walking with me. All of you have walked with you. When you're ready, you can bring yourself back to awareness. If you need a few minutes to anchor, to breathe, to write, and is there one word that will hold and anchor like a fractal? One word that will be the fractal of your story that you've given to life. Write it down. And then when you're ready, we're going to do the cook's hookup, okay? And that's what your word is going to be for. Life, my story is what? My story is love. Life, my story is magic. Life, my story is joy. And when you're ready, roll your arms, put them together this way, and then roll up, cross your ankles. Life, my story is, give that to your brain. Life, my story is. Put your tongue at the roof of your mouth and roll your eyes 12 times clockwise for the right hemisphere. Life, my story is, tongue at the roof of the mouth, 12 counterclockwise for the left hemisphere. And take a deep breath.